Mike McCarthy, founder, McCarthy Capital. Mike McCarthy grew up in Iowa. As one of 10 children, they learned to have a strong work ethic on the family farm. After graduating from St. John's University, he started a construction and contracting business at the age of 20 and expanded into real estate and development. In the mid-'80s, his focus shifted to commercial and ag property management.
And I spent a couple years doing social work, working with bankrupt farmers and small business people, which is where I really learned a lot about capital formation.
In 1986, Mike and Nancy moved to Omaha with their 4 children. Along with partner Rich Jarvis, they founded an investment firm, McCarthy Group.
We started McCarthy Group in order to really facilitate capital formation. So we were helping businesses find equity and helping them finance their businesses. Over the first 10 years, we found about 10 partnerships where we were able to invest capital on behalf of ourselves and our partners in helping grow businesses. And that's really what McCarthy Group became, was a capital facilitator for growing businesses.
A core tenet of McCarthy Group's strategy is to enhance client success, not only through the management of accounts and funds, but also through direct ownership interest. That philosophy has persevered for 35 years. The company has developed a deep network of industry executives and experts that support company management as true partners.
We've had some great experiences in Nebraska. We bought what was a bankrupt election services business in 1987, a business we still own today, which now counts about half the votes in the United States. We also facilitated the employee acquisition of HDR, a business that has grown more than 10 times since 1996.
I absolutely believe in hindsight, and this is 25 years later, and I've said this many times over, without Mike McCarthy's help, assistance, and faith in HDR, the HDR employee buyback would have never happened.
Today, McCarthy Group, along with affiliates, manages more than $10 billion in capital.
We've been able to build some businesses that have grown mostly in the state of Nebraska and now elsewhere. And that's the greatest really accomplishment, or the greatest social work there is, I think, is in building these businesses which employ people and make it possible for families to educate their children and enjoy the quality of life that truly exists here.
In 2020, Mike was tapped to lead Heritage Services, supporting public-private projects to improve Omaha's quality of life.
We have a wonderfully philanthropic community in Omaha where we can raise tens and hundreds of millions of dollars if necessary to get things done. So it's just a great privilege to be part of that organization.
Heritage Services works to respond directly to community needs and return assets back to communities for full ownership, including notable projects at the Sienna Francis House and Lauritsen Gardens. Mike and his wife Nancy are also personally regarded as key philanthropic leaders.
I just think you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who's made broader contributions to business in the state of Nebraska and philanthropic pursuits in the state. He's tireless, he's ageless, he's willing to commit.
He also gets involved, boots on the ground, to help him any way he can, get by his business experience or his common sense or what have you. And I find that pretty unusual. And, you know, it just speaks for who he is.
I'm absolutely delighted that Mike would accept the honor of joining the Nebraska Business Hall of Fame.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you, everyone who came tonight. I really appreciate that. I'd like to recognize the State Chamber and the Selection Committee. I got to warn the Selection Committee, though, it's a little dangerous because I haven't quit working and I could still make a mess of this. Hope not. It's been a blessing and a privilege to partner with so many people in Nebraska to help build businesses, as you heard on that more than complimentary introduction. They share a lot of characteristics, and I thought I'd just spend less than 4 minutes, so you can be at peace with that, trying to recognize some of those. We have deep roots in this state in production, particularly in agricultural production, and that's my roots. And I was recently visiting with my 94-year-old mother, who is sewing one of the more than 100 quilts she'd made for kids and grandkids and so forth. And she said, you know, I just don't feel very productive. I said, Mom, it's okay, you're 94. I think Nebraskans are tireless like that. You know, she had 8 kids before she had running water, and then she had 2 more kids, and we all went to work. And the opportunity was there for us, and it's there for all of us. It's a wonderful thing. In Nebraska, we produce more than we consume, and we also give more than we take. I think those are characteristics that are not universal, but very widespread in our state and make for a prosperous future. My wife and life partner for 47 years, Nancy, has been the family bookkeeper since she discovered that I couldn't balance my checkbook and occasionally overdrafted it. She still provides great balance in a wonderful life we have with our 4 children. We've had great partners in our businesses as well, and decades-long partners like Gerald Timmerman, who you saw on that screen. And while the results argue that I should have left McCarthy Capital a few years before I did, my defense is that I left the team with the best partners that you could possibly find. I'd love to name names, many of you seated here tonight, but we'd be here beyond midnight, I'm sure, and I'd forget someone. So today I just say that I'm enjoying my new gig at Bridges Trust, where I'm the co-chairman, advising mostly Nebraska families doing what I love best. Nebraska has a great professional advisory community as well, and we're blessed with that. And it's kind of fun to get the flyover types who think they might land in Nebraska and take some of our money with them. And what they really find is we're pretty good at stacking hay bales and sometimes capital in those green stacks. Nebraska does just fine at capital formation. Finally, I'd like to say that we're also well governed, not in small part due to the work of the chamber, the senators in this room, and the senators before and after them. No one standing here where I stand could legitimately complain about the lack of opportunity or the lack of public support. While we often disagree, and I'm concerned about us becoming more disagreeable in our disagreements, I'm confident that the dreams we share will far exceed the fears that divide us. America has an amazing resilience, and so does Nebraska. An ability to find that center that suits most of us, most of the time, and I'm confident we'll find that ground again. And we'll find that ground while encouraging those and helping those who haven't been as gifted as we've been, all of us here tonight. So thanks to everyone. I'm grateful to be honored, and I hope to continue to be worthy of that honor. So thank you.